What was your impression of Shawn Porter calling out Keith Thurman before the fight and then walking in the ring calling out Danny Garcia?
It's twofold to it. From one standpoint, as a boxing fan, and as somebody who I don't like the way even when a lot of Alabama fighters were still on Golden Boy, and since they moved to BBC, like a lot of fighters just dance around each other. So from that point, it's just like Shawn, like it's kind of disappointing. So this is the thing with me with Shawn Porter. I just think Shawn Porter thinks he's bigger and thinks he's more of a in the division than he really is. So I'll break down Shawn Porter and what I mean by that. Okay, Shawn Porter's first title shot was against Devin Alexander. When Devin Alexander was still on top, his only loss was to Tim Bradley. I thought I didn't know much of Shawn Porter. I just saw the Julio Diaz fight, so I was like, "Oh, Devin Alexander should watch too." Shawn Porter convincingly beat the dog shit out of Devin Alexander, and that was on to Malignaggi and Judah, which was not a world championship fight. Okay, Shawn Porter's first title defense was against Malignaggi. Malignaggi, who he had a foot halfway out the game, but he did just have a good year before that with the Broner fight and with the win over Judah. So we'll give Shawn Porter credit for that. Shawn Porter steamrolled Malignaggi like Malignaggi never been steamrolled before, and that was on the undercard. That was on the undercard to Bernard Hopkins in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Then Shawn Porter's first fight as a long-side fight, he lost to Kell Brook. Out here at the Starbucks Center in a fight that wasn't heavily attended, in a fight that wasn't heavily viewed, and he came up short and he lost. Okay, and I'll go lost for just 1 second and keep it moving. Then he has his next fight against Eric Bonet in a fight that I don't think anybody watched, and I can't even tell you what Eric Bonet looks like.
It was a replacement. Remember, Ruiz didn't make weight.
Right.
Or Diaz. One of them, Diaz or Ruiz. The guy that was...
It was
Rubio. Was it Rubio?
I think it might have been Roberto Garcia or something.
Okay, someone, he didn't make weight, yeah.
Possibly. Okay, then his next fight, Shawn was his biggest win to date against Adrian Broner. And he was the B-side on that fight, but that was the fight that turned Shawn Porter's career around, and we look at Shawn Porter like he might be a A-side fighter one day. His next fight is against Keith Thurman. He had to give Keith Thurman the A-side because Keith Thurman was a championship, but I'll be honest with you, that was like a double A-side fight, basically.
Yeah.
That was pretty much on the same level. But he comes up short. He comes up short on that fight. Then his next fight is against Berto. He gave Berto the A-side to that fight because Berto came off of a pay-per-view with Mayweather. And then he beat Berto in an ugly fight that didn't do much with the fans for his reputation. He actually turned off a lot of fans with the style of the fight and the headbutting and all of that. And plus, like, it really wasn't a 50-50 fight. Berto just coming off from being out for 2 years with the surgery, coming out from being dominated by Floyd Mayweather. He got dropped by Victor Ortiz in the rematch before he stopped him. So there was no steam on Berto's name, and then the fight was ugly. And then he fights. And then this isn't Porter's fault. I'll give Porter credit for this. He wanted to fight Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia did what he does. So Porter takes a stay busy fight against Adrian Granados on the undercard. So I'm saying all of this to say, like, Shawn Porter has not been world champion since 2014.
16, 15, somewhere in there, yeah.
No, it was 2014. He won it, lost lost it August 2014.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. You beat Devin Alexander for the championship. Who shouldn't have been a contender at the time, and then you lost it in your next fight against Joe Brooks. Sure. So you haven't been a champion since 2014. He doesn't sell tickets like that, and he lost 2 of his 3 major fights. So from that standpoint, it's like and then his 2 fights, once again, the WBC called them, title eliminators and all of that. But I'm in the mind of the fans, we're not done. The Burrow fight and the Granados fight that didn't leave an impression with us to make us salivate for Porter. We want to see Porter. The fans want to see Thurman and Spence. The fans want to see Spence and Crawford. The fans want to see Thurman and Crawford. Those three fights are much more major than the Shawn Porter fight. Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia rematch, business-wise, is a bigger fight for Thurman than it is for Porter, because when Thurman fought Garcia, Thurman was a champion. When Thurman fought Porter, Porter was not a champion. When Thurman fought Danny Garcia, that was the biggest attendance in Barclays Center history. Mm-hmm. When Thurman fought Garcia, it was the biggest viewership in CBS history. So you have two fights in Spence and Terrence Crawford that the fans will clamor for more. Then we know the Crawford fight probably can't happen. Mm-hmm. And then you have the Danny Garcia fight. That's a bigger fight because Danny Garcia sells tickets. Mm-hmm. So it's like Porter from that standpoint. I just think that he's bigger than he is. Now, that's from our strategic business standpoint. From the boxing standpoint, the reason I really can't respect it is because when he had that press conference at his gym, the excuse for not fighting Spence, that was the most ridiculous. That was some bullshit. And it hurts for me to say this because I became super Porter fans the way they handled the Broner fight, and that's funny. That's how I even connected with you, Fred. Mm-hmm.
I know. Yeah, and we met in the gym. He was like, I know that voice. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Man in the gym and fucked off our workout. So like. It's like Kenny Porter, man. And I respect you as a dad. I respect you as somebody who had a kid young and was living in Cleveland and trying to move into the suburbs and nurture them up to be how he is and kept him on the right path. I got nothing but respect for Kenny Porter for that. And I grew to be a fan of Kenny Porter because when a Porter fight first got announced, I was like 50-50 on it. But the way I saw Kenny Porter talking to Broner, I was like, man, I know you, and just the way he was like, don't look at me, look my son in the eye, and I saw Broner's body language. Mm-hmm. I knew Broner was gonna lose that fight, and I knew Kenny got Broner's soul. And so that made me put money on Porter, so I won money off that fight because of Kenny Porter. So and that made me a fan. Like when Danny Garcia first said Porter would be easy work for him, Porter flew out to the fight. I was like, oh yeah, I'm rocking with Porter. I was like, the way they made the Keith Thurman fight happen, the way they even chased the rematch, I'm like, this dude Porter would he'll fight anybody. So in my mind, when I'm starting to see people be weird about Spence, in my mind, I'm like, I know Porter's a dog. Mm-hmm. Porter will take that fight, and so it hurts the most. It disappointed the most. Kenny Porter, your excuse. I heard Kenny Porter. I don't remember how long ago it was. His excuse for not wanting Shawn to fight Errol Spence is, well, we're not ranked in the IBF, so why would we go that route? Blah blah blah. When we're ranked in the WBC. All right. First of all, if we talking about business, if Errol Spence is willing to let Shawn Porter skip the line for voluntary defense, that would be a huge fight. that would have been a bigger fight than the Berto fight. That would have been a bigger fight than the Granados fight. That would have been a bigger. If Porter beats champion, that makes the Thurman rematch even that much more bigger because there's 3 belts on the line, and that would have been Porter knocking out somebody that we thought was a dog. So the demand for the Thurman fight would have been bigger. So that was weak from Kenny Porter's part, especially since they was knocked out of the IBF rankings after he lost the Kell Brook fight, but he still wanted the Kell Brook rematch right after that. So the win out rank wasn't an excuse for Kell Brook.
The IBF didn't allow it.
All right, that's cool. Well, I'm sure the IBF would have allowed the Spence Porter fight. And then so Porter, man, his excuse was 3 years ago, Spence, you're not the fight I was looking for. 2 years ago, you're not the fighter that I fought. What the fuck is that, Fred? Fred.
Yes.
What is that, bro?
I genuinely believe that you build animosity towards an opponent. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know to what level it is, but I can say this. I know the Porters, and Shawn is at a point, I think, mentally where he wants to do his job. And his job, honestly, is to get the rematch with Shawn Porter, and to get the rematch with Keith Thurman, and then he wants to unify. He's the first person. He is the first fighter to openly say he will unify with Errol Spence once he beats Keith Thurman.
You said it, man, but that body language would be looking crazy. That body language would be looking crazy when you said the name Errol Spence. That body language would be looking crazy.
I think y'all be looking for stuff though, like too. At the end of the day, honestly, I believe this wholeheartedly. No fighter is afraid of anybody. I don't believe that because they've all fought each other already throughout the amateur.
I agree that no fighter is afraid of anybody. I believe that honestly, boxing for one isn't as mainstream as it was in its glory days. So fighters are being more mindful. Like, look, I had to be more strategic with this because I can't have 2 or 3 losses, because then I won't get any more big fights. The big fights are few and far between. So I think that has a lot to do with it. So definitely, yeah. I don't think anybody's scared of from the standpoint of oh my God, I don't want to fight him. I'm scared of him. Okay. So when we use the word scared, I think it's like, man, you guys. It's the same way people were scared to fight Floyd in the '90s, but in a different way, because Floyd was high risk.
Yeah, high risk, low reward.
That was the excuse to use with Errol Spence 2 or 3 years ago. Okay. But now,
well, let me say this. Remember, in the amateurs, Shawn fought at 165. He beat Daniel Jacobs. He beat Alexander Usyk. He beat Alexander Usyk. He gave Demetrius Andrade he beat Demetrius Andrade in his last loss. That was Demetrius Andrade's last loss is against Shawn Porter. So
and he beat the real.
And yeah, so in my head, and I spend a lot of time with them in New York and in Vegas, and when they come to LA, you know that already. So I know who they are. Like, I don't know them like 100%, but I know, like, in terms of boxing, who they are. And I have no doubt in my mind Shawn Porter is afraid of Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman nor Errol Spence. But I will say this. If you're in a line, I'm going to simplify this for all the subscribers. I'm not trying to dumb down this conversation. But if you're in a line to get a PS3, right, and your friend over here says, man, I can get the PS3 $30 cheaper, but you're next in line, and you go to the next Best Buy down the street, are you going to take the chance to get a $30 discount? Or are you going to stay in line because you're next? I think I personally would stay in line and get that PS3.
Spence as the next count. And that's where we got a difference. And I like that. And I like that enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna parry that analogy, and I'm gonna counter you with another analogy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna parry that analogy. That's good. I like that. I like that. Go ahead.
And we're gonna take this to my favorite subject.
Okay.
Sex and sex. Okay. If it's a girl that I wanted, I got a chance to get it, and we smash, but it don't work out. I don't beat it up right, like I'm supposed to. Mm-hmm. And I want to get that shot again. Am I gonna wait till she gives me that shot, and in the meantime, fuck these ugly bitches and make her look at me like those. And I'm sorry, fuck these ugly females and make her look at me like these females ain't worth it. Or am I gonna go after this girl over here that look just as good, probably even better than her? Go get her and then go force her to fuck with me again. What would you do? Would you, if you had a crack at one of the baddest females?
The baddest female in boxing is a WBC championship. That's the most prettiest girl. That's Holly Berry in boxing, the green belt.
Did Keith Thurman have the WBC championship when Shawn Porter first fought him? When Shawn Porter was first chasing that fight?
No, he didn't.
Did Keith Thurman have the WBC belt? Did Keith Thurman have the WBC belt when Shawn Porter was winning an immediate rematch?
No, he he did not.
So, Fred, like, come on, we gotta talk, man.
Yeah, talk. I'm with it. We just disagree, and I love it. I'm not gonna back down or a waiver. Yeah.
Did Danny Garcia? Shawn Porter flew to the Barclays Center to watch him fight Paulie Malignaggi to call him out? No, he didn't. Mm-hmm. He didn't. Mm-hmm. It's facts. And all I want the fans to read this in the comment, and I want you to tell me, Fred, what would excite you more to see a Shawn Porter rematch? Shawn Porter fighting Andre Berto and Adrian Granados, and then waiting for a Thurman fight, or Shawn Porter beating Errol Spence, becoming the IBF championship, and then making that a 3-belt unification. What sounds more?
Oh, 100%. Him competing against Errol Spence is definitely more alluring. 100%. Now, but you can't mention that without saying he's first in line to get the WBC championship.
But how?
He's already put the work in.
How did he become first in line?
He beat Berto.
You could do it from the paperwork standpoint, saying, "Oh, the WBC made it."
And if he takes that fight,
but we as people that know boxing, we understand, like, oh, you lost. How did you get back in line? You beat Berto that had just got off for 2 years from his shoulder after losing what's his boy name, Somberto or whatever it is. Years off with a shoulder injury. You come back, your only fights were against Steve Chambers, who nobody knows. He got dominated by Floyd Mayweather, and then he beat Victor Ortiz, and that was still a neck-to-neck fight. Mm-hmm. So there was no there. What did Berto do to get the higher up in the rankings? You got Adrian Granados, who's never been a contender for a championship, who fights in between 135.
Well, you want to hear something? Well, I'll tell you this: that date was supposed to be Danny Garcia, Shawn Porter, November 4th.
I'm with you. The Granados fight, I'll give Porter some slack on the Granados fight because he didn't want to go another year with only one fight. He had to take what he could get, and Danny Garcia was acting feminine. Yes, I'm using the word feminine again, guys. Danny Garcia. So I'll give Shawn Porter the fight. and still, it's like he could have taken the Spence fight instead of taking the Granados fight.
I wouldn't. You know what? If I'm either, here's my logic, and this is just common sense. Make as much money as you can. If I'm either Danny Garcia or Shawn Porter, I fight each other because it puts 2 rematches in place, and Errol Spence is always an open slot. Errol Spence.
I'm with you on that, and I'm not knocking Shawn Porter for that. That's what she got it down. When it comes to Shawn Porter and Danny Garcia, that's a fight that should have already happened by now, especially since they both took the head of Keith Thurman. Y'all duke it out.
Y'all duke it out for the right to fight. Now here's the great thing. Here's the great thing. The calendar at the 147 division is aligned up right now. Thanks to Danny Garcia. The great thing about Danny Garcia fighting Saturday is everyone is in play now. Everyone's calendar is perfectly aligned. Keith Thurman fights in May. Errol Spence fights in June. And I would assume that Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter will fight sometime this summer. So that means we will get what we want at the end of the year. You know what I mean? Go ahead. We'll get a 2-horse race by the end of the year, or the top of next year.
If Shawn Porter beats Danny Garcia, then I say, damn, that puts the emphatic fashion that Keith Thurman did it. Then to me psychologically, that puts the Thurman. All right, Thurman, like you have nowhere to hide now. Look, like I said, I get the WBC mandatory, blah blah blah. But I'm just saying, me as a person. Me as a person who watches boxing and knows and understands these fighters and where they're at, like Shawn Porter, I don't feel like Shawn Porter has done enough to overlook Errol Spence and say, no, I'm going to show.
I don't think he's overlooking him. I don't believe he's overlooking him. I think he's staying on the same road he applied for.
But since then, okay, he said 3 years ago I wasn't looking at you, right?
No, Errol Spence was pretty much irrelevant 3 years ago.
He said he wasn't. All right, so in those past 3 years, what welterweight has had the biggest rise since then?
Keith Thurman, Errol Spence.
Keith Thurman and Errol Spence.
Yep.
Okay. Who? So it's just like look. I feel like if Shawn Porter, if Shawn Porter fights Danny Garcia, beats Danny Garcia, that's good enough to put that pressure on Thurman. Like, hey, this rematch needs to happen. But I feel like if Shawn Porter fights Errol Spence and beats Errol Spence, I feel like that takes Shawn Porter past Keith Thurman in a sense.
I mean, to the public eye, maybe. But if you listen, and I'm putting my business hat on right now, if you got a chance to get $5 million in 2 fights, because I mean, I think that fight is worth $1.8, $2.2 million per fight. You know, maybe Keith Thurman gets $800,000 more, $1 million more. But I think Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia sets everyone up, and now we can fight each other because everyone makes money. Errol Spence is going to get his 1.5 every fight, and then it narrows the road where it's only one way in, and by January we can have one way in, one way out. It's just nowhere to go after that, because after they fight in July, I don't know. I haven't spoken to anybody on this, but nobody has nowhere. Like, what you guys want is what you guys are going to get. I 100% believe, because nobody has nowhere to go. There's no one you can add. There's no one you can add to the equation right now. You can't add a Ugas. You can't add a fucking whoever, Amir Khan. You can't add the Manny Pacquiao's. You can't add them. Jesse Vargas. No.
Jesse Vargas, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying.
And he's smart, and he's right to do it. He lives in Vegas. It's probably it costs him $10 in gas money. He has access to all the media. It makes perfect sense. And at the end of the day, there's probably 500 new. He probably got 500 new fans this weekend. You understand what I'm saying? So
I'm like Jesse Warrior.
I mean,
okay, but hey, do what you gotta do, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it.
He'll be the Swiss Army knife of the welterweight division. You know what I mean? He gonna get some wins, and but getting back to what I'm saying, I think I think we're putting the process before the reward. There's a process to get to where we need to be. You understand? Like when we were little kids, why isn't Mike Tyson fight the Lennox Lewis? Let the motherfucker make $100 million first. Let him get his $100 million. You get what I'm saying? Although he fought him.
I would respect these dudes if they came out and flat out said it. Like, to be honest with you, and because Keith Thurman is the one I've been the most critical of, the way he's been acting. But to be honest with you, from listening to him this weekend, he was just the most straight up with it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. And
he was the most straight up with it this week. I just hate to see these dudes still trying to put Spence to the side as if he's still that person.
No, Spence is not a prospect. Spence is a world champion. Spence is a world champion.
Spence is a world champion, and including Keith Thurman. He's the most talked about working with. Like I guarantee. Right now, if you left it up, and the fans are very important because the fans are what keep the sport going. Yep. If you left it up to the fans right now, strip everybody in their belts and say, you know what, it's only gonna be one welterweight champion right now, and we're gonna let the fans choose what they want to see. It will be Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, and that's fact.
Man, you guys are underrating Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman I've seen Keith Thurman fight live 5 or 6 times.
I'm not underrating Keith Thurman at all.
Keith Thurman is a beast, man. Keith Thurman is a monster.
I feel you, but victory of the past 2 years, just as you said, and then Steven Espinosa came in and said some bullshit. Mm-hmm. Keith Thurman hasn't fought a lot. Mm-hmm. And Keith Thurman is somebody on his come up we were looking at as a knockout artist. Mm-hmm. He hasn't knocked anybody out since he stepped up his level of competition. Mm-hmm. Luis Calavo, who was a fringe level contender, gave him hell and had him in trouble.
He stopped him though. He stopped him. It's box. You're gonna get hit once or twice against a C-level fighter.
He didn't dominate against. He didn't.
Bandu.
And he's not fighting, and he's starting being injured, so it's brittle. So what I'm saying is, I'm not sleeping on Keith Thurman. I'm just saying the facts. In the past couple of years, he's lost steam on his name because one, he came in the game. I'm the big bad Keith Thurman. I'll fight everybody. Now he's turning into a businessman. So that took the allure from his name. Then his fights, he hasn't been dominating. Then he hasn't even been that active. So whereas on the meantime, Terrence Crawford just unified the 140-pound division, dominated the gold man, and like with every fight, he's just looking more and more.
Yeah, that was at the JV level, though. That was at the JV level.
Yeah, I know. I'm just talking. I'm talking about from what the fans see and so to what they imagine the dream fights that they want to make. Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
I'll say this: I saw Terrence Crawford last night. I worry about his durability, man. Like, you know, I was at Floyd's party last night. I worry about his durability. Man, he looks.
Didn't invite your boy.
I asked you, dude. I asked you on the phone. Didn't you hear me ask you? I said, "What you doing tonight?"
I know. I'm messing with you.
Oh, okay. Because I remember you did hear me ask you though, right? Oh, okay, all right. I just want to be clear. And but I question his. I don't question his talent at all. I think Terrence Crawford has. you know, top 5 talent in boxing, period, all over. You know, like no matter the division, top 5 talent. But I looked at him yesterday. I'm like, I was 2 people away from him, and I'm like, this guy. I mean, but he probably lost an inch or 2 because he's about 3 feet away from me. So, but I'm looking at him. I'm like, and I should have walked by him. I should have sized him up just so I can be more accurate when I have a mental picture of him. But he looked about 1 inch taller than me. You know what I mean? Maybe
he's only 5'8". He's only 5'8".
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was. I swear, I thought he was like 5'10". I don't know why.
Well, he's tall. He was tall for 135. He was tall for 140.
Okay. And my first.
Yeah. 5'6" and 5'8".
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you know my first impression of him is 135. So and then okay, you're right. Okay, that makes more sense because he was standing next to Floyd, and him and Floyd were the same size. I'm like.
Yeah, Floyd's like a little bit taller than him.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, he did. But irony about it, Floyd looked in better shape than Terrence Crawford. He did. No lie.
Well, first of all, Floyd is an enigma. Floyd, like that's just a different type of dude like that.
Mm-hmm. He is. You're right.
And look. If I'm being honest, I don't think none of these dudes is fucking with Errol Spence. Like I think division. So,
nah, I mean,
I already told you in another video. I think Errol Spence ended up being too much for Terrence Crawford down the line. So that's not my point. My point wasn't to say that I think Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence will be the best fight. I'm just saying based on because we talking about Shawn Porter 3 years ago. He wasn't this, but in the past 2 years, just based on. I guarantee you the most clamorous fight in the 147-pound division from the fans' perspective would be Crawford and Spence because of what Crawford has done in the past 2 years.
Oh, 100%.
Because when Spence stepped up, when Keith Thurman stepped up his level, we saw him decline. You're not knocking these dudes out. You're not dominating these dudes. You're looking vulnerable. Blah blah blah. When Errol Spence rises up, it's like the beatings got worse. The beatings got worse, and even the first half of the Kell Brooks fight, when you're like, oh, okay, is Spence ready for this level? Spence got his head together, adjusted, and made the man get on one knee and propose to him. He made Lamont Peterson. Now, Matisse knocked out Lamont Peterson quicker than Errol Spence, but Errol Spence made Lamont Peterson look like I damn near don't want to see Lamont Peterson in the ring ever again.
Yeah, you can argue that, and you can also argue Shawn Porter did the same thing to Andre Berto. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it was a different type of beating. It was a different type of. It was a different.
Ask most boxing fans about that Berto fight, and they'll say
that's hogwash. Shawn Porter.
They'll say that fight made them not want to watch Porter no more. My girl, who's I just got her in the boxing.
Yeah, I know.
Boxing. And emotional attachment to Shawn Porter because Shawn Porter's conditioning coach is married to her track coach. So she wants to see Shawn Porter. She wants to see Shawn Porter do well. But after the Berto fight, she was like, "Yo, I don't want to watch this dude."
Man, I was there live. He was beating the shit out of Berto. I mean, he was just beating him to a pulp, beating him to the point where Berto actually quit in that fight, and not in words but in body language.
First of all, Berto hasn't been a championship. Berto hasn't been a champion since 2011. That's first and goddamn foremost. We're talking about 2017. Berto ain't been a championship. Berto ain't been a champion since 2011. The dude got dominated by Robert Guerrero already. So it's already a known fact that Berto can't take. Berto's not well with pressure. He lost to Victor Ortiz. He lost to Robert Guerrero, and then even when he came back, like he got outboxed and embarrassed by Floyd.
Sure.
So it's like the Berto, there was no.
Same thing with Lamont Peterson. I mean, Lamont Peterson is just a better man. I mean, like, I'm talking about just in terms of who his look, his training regimen, who represents him.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Lamont Peterson and Andre Berto are, I mean, Berto may be one layer below him, but they're pretty much the same fighter. You know, against the top 3 or 4 guys, they're going to get their ass beat, whether it's through stoppage or whether it's through 12 rounds of just annihilation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, definitely. Okay, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Fred, show me a Porter fight that you can compare to Spence versus Kell Brook.
Malignaggi?
Did you just compare Kell Brook?
No, the outcome. You talking about the outcome. You talking about the outcome, right?
No, but I'm talking. But my point was when people step up to different levels. He stepped up to Kell Brook, and I know you don't like the Kell Brook and the holding.
That nigga helped, man. The same thing George Groves. I don't see. This is the problem. The same thing George Groves did Saturday night is the same fucking thing Kell Brook did. It's disgusting.
And we agree, but we agree on the same thing. But this is the same thing. The same thing is two smart veterans out-thought 2 wild swinging fighters. That's what Chris Eubank was on Saturday. That's what Shawn Porter was. This is the thing just with men in general and just with a lot of boxers. And even with Danny Garcia. Now, like, Chris, watching the Chris Eubank fight, I like how he just took his loss like a man. He said he felt he won, but he took his loss like a man. Shawn Porter never took the loss to Kell Brook like a man and accepted it. And neither did Kenny Porter. Because all they wanted to do was harp on the holding and the holding. And the holding was there and the holding was excessive, but the ref let it go.
Man, it was. I was there. I was ringside for that fight. It was like, damn, can he fight? Yes, a point should have been taken away.
It wasn't just the holding. Because what I saw Shawn Porter kept trying to jump in and throw wild left hooks and eating straight right hands all night. I saw that. I saw Shawn Porter trying to rush in, not moving his hands side to side, just trying to rush in and running into a stiff jab all night.
Yeah, but keep in mind that builds because Kell Brook is holding. No inside fights.
Man, look, I saw Shawn Porter get outbox, outclassed. I saw Kell Brook stay on balance the whole night and stay composed. And I saw Shawn Porter that looked like he didn't know what the hell to do. So let me try to get this knockout. He was
looking for the knockout prematurely. He was looking to knock out prematurely. But I'll say this: it's water under the bridge anyway. But if Kell Brook gets warned in the 3rd round for holding, Shawn Porter can use his angles. Now, keep in mind, Shawn Porter uses great angles when he fights because he probably has the most athletic feet at 147. Who would you say has more athletic feet? So, and with that being said, he can go side to side. You know, he don't go straight in on these guys. I mean, he goes. Well, see, I have the advantage because I've seen him work out. I know his fundamentals. What's up?
He wasn't really using angles in the Kell Brook.
He couldn't.
I seen 1 ounce of accountability that Shawn Porter took for that fight. Shawn Porter, he admitted, he said after the way he did Malignaggi, he fell in love with his power.
Yeah.
He thought he could just steamroll.
He said that in my interview Saturday. Sure did. Friday. Yeah.
So he admitted that. So it's not that he didn't use his angles because he couldn't. I felt he thought he was going to steamroll Kell Brook. You know, because he used this, like the Andre Berto fight was old.
I lost you.
Shawn Porter's footwork in that fight and the way he used his angles. I was like, damn. Like I was like, Shawn, look. And me and you both said this when we were with each other last week. Shawn Porter, the fighter of his life.
Is what?
Shawn Porter gives any fighter the fight of their life.
100%.
Shawn Porter in hell for any fighter, just like Madonna. You feel me? Just like and you're not knocking Shawn Porter out.
No.
First of all, you're not knocking Shawn Porter out, and you're not gonna get 2 seconds. I'll give you that with Shawn Porter, and Shawn Porter deserves his credit, and Shawn Porter.
Like, imagine if you took Floyd Mayweather's check hook away.
Oh, but Floyd Mayweather bites the shit out of it.
No, what I'm saying, no. What I'm saying is, if like, that's Floyd's plan A or plan B. You know, to some degree, you understand. Let you be aggressive, pivot, bop, pivot, pop, and then you realize, God damn, he's executing me every time I think I'm winning. Every time I do my A move, he bites me. He electrocutes me like Pavlov's dog. You hungry? Zzz, zzz. You understand what I'm saying? So when you take away Shawn Porter's ability to be aggressive and get inside, then I mean,
why don't you have anything else to come to the table with? We're talking about the most elite level. We're talking about the most elite level of fighting where you take where that happens, and it's a lot of veteran knowledge, and you take away somebody. I mean, that Keith Thurman is known for being a puncher and all of this and all of that, but he took away Danny Garcia's ability to fight because he knows Danny Garcia is heavy-footed. So he's like, all right,
he did something in that first round that made Danny Garcia realize, fuck. This guy is stronger and more athletic than me. Danny Garcia knew that after round 1. I mean, he'll never admit to it, but I'm watching the fight. I said, I didn't know Keith Thurman was that athletic. I had no idea. You know, I knew. Go ahead.
I know Keith Thurman was that athletic.
I didn't know he was. I mean, I didn't know he was. Wow, because Danny Garcia moves well in spurts from side to side, left to right. You know what I mean?
Danny Garcia moves well against Brandon Rios and Lucas.
I'm not talking. No, I've seen him even against Lamont Peterson. He moved a little bit. He moved good. He moved, adequately when he was going. Although he was tired and wasn't throwing punches, but combine that with the first and second and third round, he moves well. And he has a tendency to slide as the fight progresses. But I had no idea Keith Thurman was that athletic in that fight. But what he did in that first round is mentally, like G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle on both ends. Keith Thurman knew he was stronger and more athletic. And on the other side of knowing half the battle, Danny Garcia knew he was up against a stronger, more athletic guy.
Yeah. I guess this is why there's not that much allure with the. This is why there's not that much allure with me with the Danny Garcia fight, and even for Shawn Porter to be that even for Shawn Porter to be like that hype about the Thurman fight and that hype about the Garcia fight, I feel like it's because Porter knows he could if he would have just did a little more, he could have beat Thurman. And we've all known Danny's weaknesses for years. And so it's just a lot of question marks with us. So I just don't like that. You got all this aggression. You got all this aggression for these two, but when it comes to Earl, I'm just not thinking about you. Because with Danny Garcia, first of all, he's not 33-1, and we all know that. He's about 29-4. Let's keep it real. And he hasn't improved. He hasn't improved on any of the things that he's already been.
Okay, let me stop you here. Let me tell you something. What Danny Garcia said this, and I said this. My question was because he has the ability to slow you down. He has an innate ability to fight in pockets. Now, when you rewatch the fight, when he's up against the ropes, look how he takes Look, I know it's Brandon Rios, but I'm just talking about. Look how he takes Brandon Rios' pocket away. Brandon Rios think he has him in the pocket. He just slip, pow, hook, slip, hook, and then he slides out, and then the fight becomes calm. You understand what I'm saying? How does the fight?
Garcia is a great fighter. Yeah, Danny Garcia. I'm not taking nothing away from Danny's.
You're just comparing him against other great fighters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Danny Danny Garcia is a great fighter. I just don't think he could beat. I don't think he could beat I don't think he could beat an A-level athletic fighter. And the reason I feel like Danny Garcia can lure a lot of people into slowing the pace is because for one he starts slow and he looks like he's so easy to outbox, so it builds up a fighter's confidence. And then it's like you get caught off guard with the shit, like he's very crafty. Danny Garcia is very crafty.
Crafty is a great word.
He's very crafty. He's a great. He has a pretty quick counter punch. And so it's like if you get lazy with it, like boom, he'll catch you with something. It's like, oh shit, and then he got dynamite in both his hands. Like you can't deny that. And he's crafty. He stays on good. But Danny Garcia is another fighter. I don't know everything Danny Garcia is gonna get knocked out. I think the only possibility to knock out Danny Garcia is like a TKO, like he just gassed out TKO. But the way he stays balanced and composed, like you're not catching him with that because he's always in a perfect position.
I thought he fought average. Right? Like just above average, right? Saturday night. But I saw a skill set. I saw a skill set in Danny Garcia that I was like, this motherfucker can fight. And I know he didn't put it all together throughout the whole fight, but I saw it in spurts. It's like when you see a rookie in the NBA. It's like, he ain't got it now, but this motherfucker gonna be good down the line. And not to say that. Go ahead. No, but not to say that based off his potential, but I'm saying if he puts on his best performance, this motherfucker can fight. Like, and I saw it. Now I know if on that night he fights Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter, Errol Spence, he gets stopped. All three of them stops him. Keith Thurman might not stop him because he's a cerebral fighter. And I learned that against Bandu. I even asked him the question. If you go, my channel wasn't that popular then, but I said, you knew in the fourth round, all you had to do was box this guy to win. He said, you're absolutely right. I said, I knew he didn't want to come to get knocked out. So I said, I'm just going to put my jab on him, throw a right hand, and win every round. And that's exactly what he did. So Keith Thurman is the guy that put 9 rounds in the bag. And then, Oscar De La Hoya for the last 3 rounds. You understand? Well, he's that kind of fighter. Yeah. But I think I think Errol Spence stops, and I think Shawn Porter. See, Errol Spence stops him with accumulation of punches. Yeah. Shawn Porter stops him with I just want to go home. I just literally want to go home.
It's possible that Shawn Porter could stop him. It's just that you just don't see a lot. He drains you out, but he doesn't. He doesn't knock you out because he smothers his punches. I do think he'll just out physical. I do think he'll just physically just outdo Danny Garcia. There's a potential for a stoppage there, but even Terrence Crawford, Terrence Crawford will dominate Danny Garcia. There's no way Danny Garcia would have stood a chance with Floyd. There's no even Devin Alexander from 2012 would dominate Danny Garcia. You know what I mean? Tim Bradley would have dominated.
I think he'll beat Timothy Bradley because remember it'll be the same kind of fight as similar to Shawn Porter in terms of Shawn Porter landed more jabs, landed more shots, but Keith Thurman landed the more demonstrative shots, the more powerful shot. You know what I mean? So Danny Garcia might beat Timothy Bradley based off of that analysis.
Tim Bradley turned into a Mexican, our face is open.
Yeah, he does. You're right. When he opens up, yeah, you're right. I'm actually sad he retired prematurely though. He had 2 or 3 fights left.
He did, but when he retired, I watched that Bobby Call fight again. I'm like, That boy took a lot of beatings, and then after that, Diego Chavez fight. Every fight after that,
his face ballooned up. I asked him about it too. Yep. I asked him. I said, "Man, yeah." He said, and he was honest with me. He said, "I am worried about it. I'm 100% worried about it." You know, and
honestly, dog, you get. Who knows what he got on the back end of the Pacquiao fights? But he at least made $8 million off of the Pacquiao fights.
Yeah.
He got $6 million for the Marquez fight. But he knows that as an A-side fighter, you don't get that. He won't really get that money again. So it's like you taking all these beatings. You got a big check. It's hard. It's kind of like Andre Ward. It's hard to go back to $1 million when you make $8 million.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. It's hard, and that's what Conor McGregor's dealing with right now. Shit, I gotta fight this dude for $5 million. Man, are you serious?
And with Shawn, and not with Shawn, with Tim Bradley, Tim Bradley's too big to go back down to 140, and it's too much of a height disadvantage at 147. So it's like every fight for Tim Bradley was gonna be a dog fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like fight, especially for the biggest checks. Like he could have fought. Like he could have just rematched Jesse Vargas again and stayed on the outside and not get caught like he did.
Yeah.
But like he would have got probably $750,000 for that fight because he got $1 million for the first fight, but it didn't sell. You know.
Yeah, it was no one there. I was there.
Good. So it's like, but to fight the Porters, to fight the Thurmans, to fight the Spencers, to fight the, even like you said, Garcia, like he give it, like, there's no way, he got to try to fight his way inside, and he doesn't have the power to keep you off of him.
Sure.
So it was gonna be war. So I'm sad Tim Bradley retired, but it's like, where else was he really gonna go? And then, like I said, once you make $8 million,
yeah, you're right. My daughter just woke up.
All right, man. Shit, we're chopping up again, man.
She was asleep for an hour. That's good. We got an hour in. She slept for an hour.
Yeah, I didn't get to go all the way in with the disrespect like I wanted to, but we'll double back around.
I'll be up to. I mean, my day will be done about between 10 and 11. My workout is backwards this week. I'm gonna work out at night instead of the mornings. So.
All right, man. Hey, all y'all people out there in barbershop conversations, some of y'all, man, y'all need to stop drinking so much fruit juice. Y'all need to stop. You feel me? Y'all need to do some push-ups, bro. Like, y'all need to chill out, man. You know, like, you boxing fans, but don't swing off these fighters, bitch. Somebody, with me, when I criticize these fighters, it's all the decisions that they're making regarding what they're doing with these fights. I don't care about none of their personal life, nothing like that. I'm not diminishing what they do getting inside the ring. But when you get inside the ring, you become a public figure, and people that support that act have the right to critique you.
You're right.
You feel me? So y'all calm down. Y'all take some testosterone pills. Don't need so much punching because there's a lot of estrogen in there. You feel me? And y'all debate.
All right, Ty. They gonna love you. You gave them an hour. They gonna love you. You gave them an hour. I'm about to upload it.
Let's get it, man. Hey, any of y'all hit me up at any time. I talk about you.
Oh, I should have put Tyran. Yeah, Tyran 24/7. Tyran Brown 24/7.
Yeah. Me and Fred fucked off a whole workout the first time we realized we gonna fuck with boxing.
Yeah, you're right.
For 3 hours.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm gone, man. My daughter in the back crying.
All right, brother.
All right, appreciate you, Key. Yeah, peace.